guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Evergreen TV. If this is your first time on my channel, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video you'll be the first to be notified. So in this video I'm gonna be talking about a lot of stuff, most especially about my generation and a lot of generations before my generation. But I will just be talking about two generations, which is the millennials and the baby boomers. So I'm going to be talking about these two generations. In my previous video I talked about the law of karma and the law of attraction. So I want to really break it down a little. So I want to talk about these generations so that you guys can really understand what I'm trying to talk about in that video. If you've not seen that video, I advise you go back and see that video so that you can really understand what I'm talking about in this video. So first of all, let me start from the baby boomers. So the baby boomers, they are generations like that is my father generation. So most of us that were born in the 80s, those are our parents' generation. So like the millennials, that generation starts from 1980 to 1995. So the baby boomers are born from the time frame of 1945 to 1960. Really, they had a lot of kids. Like me, I'm from the family of 7, so my dad have a lot of kids, and my dad is from that generation, baby boomer. So if you look at like what I said in my video, I said you picked your parents because your soul is in the same vibration with your parents. So your soul is vibrating in the same vibration with your father, your mother. So that vessel, which is the baby that was born, so your soul was attracted to that vessel. That's why you choose to dwell and use that vessel that you are using. So if you can see someone who was born in that period, that person will be thinking like having a lot of thought, why am I born in this kind of time? Why am I born in this kind of period? You can see why that generation was called the baby boomers. It was like during that period of time after the Biafra war and everything. Not only the Biafra war, that was the same period of time Nigeria got its independence. So you can see that period of time is kind of a different kind of period of time. Imagine Nigeria is just a young country, just only got independent from the colonial masters. So you can see someone who was born in that time frame is going to have a new experience. So, and you can see someone who is growing up in that time frame after the war, after the Biafra war, you can see that the country will be going through reconstruction. They will be building again because the war have done a lot of damages. So now they are rebuilding. Most of them learn handwork, how to use their hand. Most of them learn how to work with electricity, iron bending. So that was most of them learned that kind of work, and you can see why they had a lot of kids was that most of them got married so early. So you can see someone who have a handwork and is working and there's money flowing in because now the country is going through reconstruction. So, and you've learned that kind of handwork, so the money is coming in. And secondly, men are scarce because a lot of young men were picked for the war, and most of them didn't come back, most of them died. You can see then the men was more than the women, so it was easy to get a woman based on you are working and men are scarce. So they started having babies, have 7 children, 8 children, some of them 12, have a lot of children. So you can see that lifestyle, that way that the baby boomers lived affected the millennials. Because why? The baby boomers, which is my father's generation, didn't have the opportunity that we the millennials have. Like most of them lost their dad based on the Biafra war. Most of them didn't have a father that was wealthy, because during their time, their father's time was during the colonial masters. So their time was after the colonial masters, so they had a lot of opportunity, a lot of possibility to do a lot of things that they love to do. So they gave we, the millennials, some kind of privilege that they didn't have. So you can see that affected a lot of millennials. It affected a lot of millennials because now they are young parents, based on the situation and the circumstances of the way the country is. The country is just coming out from a civil war. Now most of them went ahead and learned a skilled handwork for them to survive. Based on now the situation of the country, nobody really want to go to school in that period. It's only the northerners that like going to school that period of time. So you can see time frame that you are born in can affect a lot of things about your life. So that is how I explained in the video I did about the law of karma and the law of attraction. You can see. So now someone who is born in that period of time, all those circumstances make that person get married early, start bearing a lot of kids without no experience, based on the war and everything. So now these kids that they have, they start making decisions, making choices for them, wrong choices and wrong decisions. Like in my case, I was born in an area where it was an area for the third class or the fourth class kind of people, but my dad was not in that kind of class. My dad was kind of the like third class, so that area was like for the fourth class to the fifth class. So my dad was like the kind of the third class. He has a house, a good house, a big house. He can feed me. I was going to a private school. I never went to a government school. I was okay. I never lacked anything I wanted. He gave it to me. All of us, like, took care of us, make sure that we never starve. So you can see, and I was living around people that starve, that I see they eat carbohydrates in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. I was like in a dimension where I'm not supposed to be. So it's like my dad was the most wealthiest person based on where we are living, because that dimension is for the fourth class to the fifth class, lower standard of living. So it's like my father just came in and tried to bully them and tried to brag on them. So it was affecting us, because I was going to a private school where everybody come to school with their food on one plate. So I'm coming to school with money on my pocket, so I go and buy something for myself. So I never knew that was wrong. So it was like normal to me. I was very young. My dad would give me money when I'm going to school, like, go to school, take this money and go to school. So my dad was always saying, because he didn't have the opportunity to go to school, he always said my grandfather died, so he never had the opportunity to go to school. You have to go to school. You have to go to school. You have to make sure that you face your study. So when I'm going to school, I like, damn, I'm gonna be in class today. I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna like listen to everything this teacher is saying. I'm not gonna be distracted. I'm gonna be right there in class. I don't care about all these low class people that I'm around with. I'm gonna focus. So when I get to school, I will be like focused for a while. Then my teacher will come to class. Then I will see his shoe that he's putting on, see the dress that he's putting on, and like I was like, you are telling me to focus on school, but look at how this guy is dressing. And my dad dressed good. He got nice shoes, nice wristwatch. Everything is neat. Like I see this guy is spitting, rhyming on class. Like he knows everything about maths. He knows everything about what he's saying. He's so brilliant. But why is he so tattered like this? Look at his shoe. My dad didn't go to school, but he has good shoes. He has everything. So I was like, you see, I was born in that kind of time frame, and I was living in a fifth class community. So and my dad was kind of in third class, so I was going to a school whereby everybody looked poor to me, and my dad is telling me school is the key. So when I get to school, I'm seeing another dimension. Like, you are telling me school is the key, but my lecturer is not giving me that encouragement that school is the key, because the way it's dressing and the way it looks doesn't give me any encouragement. So that really affected me in my life. So I didn't have friends because I couldn't communicate, I couldn't blend into the dimension. So I talked about that in one of my video, why I couldn't really blend to the dimension. This is why you can see how the generation of my dad affected my own generation, the circumstances and the situation of how and when he was born, how that situation and that time designed his own life, and that have to affect me in my own life. You can see. So I started changing that karma, changing that dimension when I understood that I have to start, when I started making my decisions myself, because I was in that school. I didn't make the decision that I want to go to that school. My dad put me in that school. There's nothing I can do about it. I have to go. He's the one paying my school fees. I can't say I don't like this school. How many schools? I went to a lot of schools. I was going to a lot of schools. Like, I always complain. We always complain. Me and my sisters, we always complain that we don't like this school. It take us to another school. Like, we don't like this school because we can't fit in, and we are living in that environment. It's like someone who is supposed to live in the GROA, the government reserve area. So now you are living in Ajegule, and you have to force yourself to go to school with the people, or in Ajegule kind of a school, and you can see that it's difficult. And my dad now can't afford that school, that fee for the school in the government reserve area, but he's kind of living okay. He's living okay in a way, but he cannot afford that school. He can afford it for like maybe a year or two, but continuously, because he's a contractor. The money comes once. When the money comes, we boom, everywhere is good. So suddenly everything stops. They can be 2 months, 3 months, nothing. So you that's why we're going to different school, and that happened a lot to a lot of families. So my sisters and my brothers were my friends. So I couldn't make a lot of friends. I didn't really need a friends, because I have a lot of friends, a lot of past karma friends that reincarnated and want to be around me so that we can sort our own problems, our past problems, our unsolved problems. So I was always with them, so I have to know about them. So we didn't really have friends. We didn't really need friends, because we were a lot. We were 7 of us. So you can see the way, you can see the generational. That's why they say there's generational curse and stuff like that. So when you start cutting yourself now, it's okay, I don't want to follow this line the way it has been coming. You can see how I explained it, why some family have to be a family, why a man will be attracted to a woman, the reason why in that time frame, based on the war just ended, someone who lands a good job is receiving money. Based on the country is going through reconstruction, now men are scarce, the women are more than the men. So now you can pick any woman that you like because there's money. Then you get a woman pregnant, the next thing you have to start making babies, you start family. And most of these family were out of wedlock. None of them really did it the right way. So you can see that line will affect the kids based on no experience, nothing. They're just having kids like that based on the money is coming. So you can see how it affects a lot of family like that. That is the problem the millennials are having. Our parents bought a lot of things for us when it comes to educational aspect, in everything, because they really have the experience of parenting, so they just like went into it like that. Most of them didn't have parents to give them advice. Most of them lost their parents during the war, so most of them, a lot of things just happened, so that affected the millennials. So you can see the millennials, they are one of the most depressed generation. They can't stay. I've been around millennials like me. They can't stay without music, can't stay without TV. They can't really stay in the moment because there are a lot of things in their mind. Most of them, really, they can't fit in. Like, I see why I couldn't fit in, why I was different, and that is why we are the star seed, because we were born and we're in another dimension, living in a lower dimension. So we have to try and bring ourselves out by changing and starting new things. We can't go with the flow and how it flows in our family, so we have to change it. So that is how I grew up. So I grew up that way, and during my life experience, I started understanding something. That was why I really started going through this spiritual awakening. So I understand a lot of stuff, so I have to cut off and try to change a lot of things. Don't just go into marriage like that, start bearing kids, have a lot of kids. So I have to do something for mankind. I have to find my soul purpose, know why I'm here, know why I reincarnated to that family, why I came that period of time, what I'm here to do, what is my karma, what is my past karma, what am I going to clear, the karma I have with my brothers and sisters, the one I have with my father's side, my mother's side. So I gotta know everything, so I have to clear it, then start a new cycle, bear kids that will not even know if I had any problem or any karma, start a new karma for them. So that's why we are here, that's why we are all here, to start new things, to change the way it started, to change the cycle, to start a new things. So I hope you guys understand and you guys enjoy my story about the baby boomers and the millennials. So why we are so depressed like that is because we are lost. We don't really want to find our soul. But I promise you, if you find your soul purpose and you know what you are here to do in life, you wouldn't bother about nothing. You wouldn't care about anything. So I'm going to also do a video about the game of life, how it's played and how you are supposed to play it, and there are different levels to this game. So I will also tell you the type of games and the different level of the games, the one that you are playing currently due to your life circumstances, and the one you can like to play due to what you like to do with your life. So I'm going to do a video about that. If you are patient to this period in this video, I say subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. Thanks guys, it's Kevin. I see you again in my new video. Ciao.